I've always drawn and sketched and always in the open from a little boy, and I still have my old sketchbook when I was aged 10 with on a holiday in the Lake District at the end of the war. So I was always drawing with pencil, and I remember having a book on how to draw, and I learnt a lot from that about shading and things. But I then went to university, read history, and went on to become a teacher of history and English in secondary schools in London, and finally became an HMI inspector and was sent north to Sheffield, and that's how we arrived at Sheffield 30 years ago. I find my inspiration without any doubt at all from the landscape, and so I've always drawn and painted outside in the open, and I've loved weather and landscape, but I've also enjoyed cityscapes, buildings and houses, and I've been always influenced by the work of John Piper. I was also working with Neil Woodall down at Yorkshire Art Space, who taught me etching and aquatint, and these were a series of 3 after he and I had gone into the steelworks at Outokumpu near Brinsworth. My method of working is that I have this bag, which is now about 60 years old, and I got from the Army and National Service. I've never lost it, and it carries my painting things for painting in the outside. So obviously the water bottle, and it's curious how you become very attached to your old things. You never want anything new, or seldom. I'm very fond of sketching every day, and I've invented a way of putting my paint on a tiny little palette, which I then clip to the sketchbook. And this means I'm completely sort of mobile. I can sketch either in a concert or in an exhibition, and I use a little book this size because you need to be as modest and as unobtrusive as possible, and I then have my palette there, and with my cloth and pen I can paint while the music is on, and it's sort of my way of listening to music. I like to have an image at the end of the what I've heard, what I've seen, and so seeing the musicians brings the music back to me. And last week I did these sketches in Greno Woods, and then from the sketches I painted a composition which we gave to someone in the Wildlife Trust, to the chairman of the Wildlife Trust, as a present. So the sketches come home, and I then can work them up as paintings. And this is a sketch done on holiday in Italy, and I'm about to put that into a painting. I find that people, when they come to studios, are very interested in artists' sketchbooks, and so to make it easy and quick for them, I stuck these photocopies of my sketchbook pages on sort of themes, gardens, holidays, walking and sketching around Derbyshire, the industry, and more holiday sketches. So that gives an idea of how I work. And in many respects I'm almost satisfied to leave it at that. I don't do many big pictures from these sketches. And so the sketches are simply like, as I've already said, a diary.